Hey blues fans, Big Harp George here. One of you has asked me to talk about musical influences other than harmonica players. Aside from the fact that I promised you that I would answer your questions, I thought in answering this particular one, it might shape the way you listen to my music and maybe the way you listen to other people's music as well. So I'm going to talk about three musicians who've had a relatively direct impact on the way I play music today and how. I'm going to talk about T-Bone Walker, Lyle Lovett, and Stefan Grappelli. Starting with T-Bone Walker. I love T-Bone Walker. I played a couple of his songs, covered a couple of his songs on my first CD, but the specific thing that I took from him was the practice of using what's called a head. A head is an instrumental pattern that you play over the course of a verse at the beginning of the song, and then you may repeat it with some variation, and then you come back to it at the end of the song. What happens in between can be other instrumental stuff, instrumental solos. So give my song Cocktail Hour a listen, and that's an example of an instrumental that starts with a head and ends with a head. Or it can be singing. Listen to I Ain't the Judge of You from my second CD. You'll hear the head, you'll hear the singing, you'll hear the head come back at the end. It's a way of kind of stamping a song with a distinctive character and marking it off from other songs that have similar grooves. Lyle Lovett, for me, is the model of what I would call songwriting honesty. On his genius album Pontiac from a number of years ago, he's got one song called Walk Through the Bottomlands, and it's about a woman from New Jersey who falls in love with a cowboy. Now, why does he situate the song in New Jersey, not the sort of place that you would expect? You might expect Texas or New Mexico or some other place in the American Southwest, not New Jersey. But the fact that he did that suggested to me anyway, wait, why would he do that if there weren't really such a person? It gives the song a kind of authenticity and reality that I think it would have otherwise lacked. So I try to keep that in mind in my songwriting. Stefan Grappelli is the musician from whom I learned about the practice of what's called musical quotation. Stefan, jazz violinist, would be playing a song, and all of a sudden you'd hear a snippet from a completely different song. And it was just kind of a musical playfulness, almost like an inside joke among the players. And I learned about this practice listening to Stefan Grappelli with my mother, who knew 30s and 40s jazz, American jazz, and pop pretty well. And Stefan would be playing a song, and all of a sudden she'd grab me by the arm. She said, "George, he just quoted," and then she'd give me the title of the other song. Again, Stefan is simply the one I learned about this from. The practice is common in jazz. There are some blues players who do it. Give a listen to George Smith's song called Juicy Harmonica. He's got some hilarious quotations in that song. Give my song called Size Matters a listen. See if you can identify the quotations in that song and where they come from. Again, talking about these, I hope will cause you to listen with a slightly different ear, maybe to my music and also to music of other musicians. See you next time. If you like this video, click the link here to sign up for my email list. You'll learn about upcoming shows and other interesting blues news. And if you want fun blues updates, come like Big Harp George on Facebook.